Well, he's ruled out for this game. I don't know if we ruled him out for the year yet. If we have, I'll check with our people and find out if that's in fact the case.
Front row middle, Dave.
Ryan, Zack Harrison, I mean, obviously he's very talented, #1 defensive end recruit in the nation. I thought he was raw, maybe wouldn't play as much as he is this year. When did it hit you that, I think you told us in camp, but when did it hit you, he's going to play this year?
Yeah, I didn't know, kind of like you, I wasn't sure, but as we've kind of gotten to these lopsided games, he's got a lot of reps in the second half of games, and he's, one of the more improved guys on our team, and it's typically you don't give that to a freshman, who just got here, but he has. I mean, he's come a long way, and I think a lot of it has to do with Larry's guidance, but also just the fact that he's got on the field and played a lot of football.
Second row left, Bill.
Ryan, you talked about wanting to see some, I don't know if improvement's the right word from the passing game, but just see that be a little crisper. How much of that also is like where on the field you're attacking with the passing game? It seems like maybe the last two games you've used the middle of the field a little more maybe than you have over the course of the season.
Not necessarily where we're attacking it, just kind of what you were saying, a little crisper with the protection, with the routes, decision making, that kind of thing, and just the high level execution. But where the ball goes, a lot of times is just based on the coverage. And so, if the first read is one place and you kind of work your way through the progressions and all the way down to your checkdowns. But I think the ball being over the throws being over the ball in that middle area is probably just more of a based on the coverage that we're seeing as opposed to an emphasis.
Third row middle, Dan.
Ryan, you guys obviously got the news about Chase Young yesterday. Were you pleased with the resolution that you got and how that process played out?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about our compliance department here with Doug and Paya and Justin and obviously Gene overseeing the whole thing and just how professional it was all done. I just really think that they did an unbelievable job with this whole process and their communication, and they were unbelievably professional. And so I just, going through this for the first time and seeing them operate like that, they were operating at a high level. And then, just the way Chase handled himself through all this is really admirable.
Second row right, Tony.
Ryan, the Ohio State club football team is ranked #1 in the nation. They have a playoff game this weekend. Any advice for their head coach?
Oh, boy. Yeah, so who they playing?
Coppin State,
Ooh,
conference foe.
I'm trying to think of their nickname. I'm a nickname guy. I forget their name, Coppin State. But anyway, hey, listen, big games, the big players got to step up and, got to make sure they take care of the football and the plan to win. Play good special teams, motivate those guys. It's on Saturday?
Yep.
What's the weather report supposed to be for Saturday?
Fair to Midland?
Yeah. They got to handle the elements then, make sure they're playing, but that's cool. That's cool. We have a guy on our team that came from the club team, Chris Booker. And he's done a great job for us. A lot of respect for him, and so their love for football is obviously very well respected.
Eagles, good. Coppin State Eagles.
The Eagles, I think they changed that. It used to be something else. Check the history on that.
Something Native American that they changed it.
Yeah, front row right, Austin.
Ryan, if I told you in August that you'd have to play so many games without Coop, some games without Chase Young at the same time, what would you have thought, in training camp, that you might have that coming by your defensive line?
Yeah, I'd be very concerned because there were some guys in that group, including Zach and Jay Sean's played some, but Tyreek Smith had played a little bit, Javante. A lot of guys have stepped up this year in a big way, and I think that's great because when you're faced with that opportunity, you either do a great job and look like a champ, or you don't. And I thought those guys have really stepped up, and certainly, couldn't say enough about what Larry's done in that room and created the depth and the pride that they have. And to see those guys play like they are right now, like you're saying, we played pretty much without Coop all year, and that was he's a leader for us and obviously a great player. So that was hard, and then going through these past couple of weeks here without Chase, but it goes to show you the leadership in that room, and those guys are all really talented.
Front row right, Bill.
For the most part, the stars in this team are the juniors or the sophomores, Justin and Chase, and your senior class. And there's some exceptions with Jordan and some of those guys. But how important has it been for maybe the guys just slightly under the radar for this team, the Jay Sean Cornells and guys like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say any of those guys are under the radar in our team room. Maybe in the national media they are, but we have some unbelievable guys in this team who, are the heart and soul of what we do in this room, and that's why we have champions meetings. That's why we call those leaders out. And every guy in this team is just as important as the other. Everybody's role is a little bit different on the team, but this team needs each other, and we can't afford, you know, to lose anybody. And, you know, they stick together, they're strong, and, you know, whatever, you know, certain guys produce certain levels on the field and everything like that, and they get certain attention, but the chemistry of this team is critical to have everybody involved with it. And all of a sudden, you have one guy stray in another direction, that hurts the team. And so we got everybody kind of rolling in that direction, and there's a lot of guys that are involved with that, like you said, maybe sometimes go unnoticed, that are really important to, especially when we're in this room, but everybody knows that on the team.
I was speaking more about the seniors specifically. Is that what you were referring to?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You know, they've been around here a long time, and they know what it's supposed to look like. And I challenge those guys all the time that this time of year, you know, you can't be cutting corners. And if the seniors see a guy cut a corner, they got to call it for what it is, and they got to stop young guys from doing that and train them the way it's supposed to be in November.
Right next door, Joey?
With Chase, he won't travel this weekend. What was the thinking behind that? Because he is a captain. Did you bring him? Do you have him stay here?
Yeah, you know, he just wants to stay here, and I think that's the right thing to do for us. We, you know, we've traveled a couple of those guys and gotten waivers for Coop and for CJ who've been injured. They want to be with the team, but you know, he's going to kind of stay back here and lift and get himself ready for Sunday.
Right next door, Tim?
Yeah, Brian, is your intention, your staff's intention to show something new each game offensively? And then number two, when someone presents a play or you have a play, is it a requirement by you for there to be extensions of that play down the road?
Yeah, I think you always are trying to experiment with new packages to stay ahead of the game. And then, like you said, you know, good offenses have plays and then plays off of plays. If they're just plays, then you're just running a bunch of plays. You're not running an offense. Yeah. And I think to your point, yeah, that's where, like a great example of that was, you know, the play to KJ, and then, you know, we saw something happen, and then we ran the play off of that. You know, those are the type of things that we look for in our offense.
And final question, front row left, Nathan.
Kind of follow up on what Bill asked, specifically the fifth-year senior defensive tackles. What role have you seen them play as far as diagnosing things on the field and helping you guys kind of sort of solve problems on the fly this season?
Yeah, well, I think they're all men. You know, you're talking about BB, Jay Sean, and Devon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are three of the guys you can count on every day. And it's great to have, you know, veteran guys like that who play veteran, who take things serious and understand the blocking schemes and work really hard to make sure that they're prepared and that their unit's prepared. But they've been solid in there, because there's really the two parts of the D line. There's the inside guys that which secure that inside and kind of control the line of scrimmage, and there's the guys off the edge. And you know, they all kind of go together. And if one area is softer than the other, then it shows up. But I thought those guys have done a really good job with that this year.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Mascot Ryan.